Next up on Tuned Into NoCo, we have the City of Fort Collins lead indoor air quality specialist, Selina Lujan. Selina, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. To start, can you explain to our listeners what the City of Fort Collins Environmental Services Department is all about?
Yeah, so we focus on a variety of different things. So we have 3 different teams within our department: our air quality team, our climate team, and our waste reduction and recycling team. And I personally sit within our air quality team and manage our indoor air quality programs for the city. So that includes our Healthy Homes program and our Radon program.
Awesome. Now, next month, I hear it is Radon Awareness Month.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who may not know much about radon, can you explain what it is?
Definitely. So radon is an invisible, odorless, tasteless, radioactive gas. And it is just created by the natural decay of uranium in the soil underneath our homes. And as it's released into our homes, high levels can get trapped inside of our homes, and exposure to high levels, or really any level, can lead to the risk of lung cancer. So it's a pretty big deal in our area. We live in Zone 1, which means that our homes all throughout Colorado are statistically more likely to have higher levels than the recommended level by the EPA, and that's 4 picocuries per liter. So we are really wanting people to not only understand kind of what radon is and the risks, but most importantly, test. So you know what your levels are in your home so you can take action if needed.
For sure. Now, do you know why it's more prevalent in our area?
Yeah, it's just the composite of uranium in our soil. We just have more of it in our area. It definitely varies state to state. But at one point, not too long ago, the state was not all red for Zone 1, meaning that we didn't see in all different counties that all homes are basically at risk. So, and now we do. So the more and more testing we see take place, the more and more we're learning that homes are seeing higher levels than that 4 picocuries per liter. But with mitigation, we're seeing that lowering. We're seeing a lowering of high radon levels in homes. And that's really why we want to encourage people to test. So that way there's less exposure and less risk of lung cancer.
Yeah, absolutely. That's super interesting. I know very little about it. I didn't even know that it was one of the leading causes of lung cancer.
Yeah.
So coming up, you guys have an in-person event at the Lyric Cinema Cafe on October 1st at 2 p.m. What should people know about this event?
We're so excited about this event. It's the first time we're doing something like this. We're excited to be back out into the community. And what we're going to have happen is that it's really going to be more of an open house style. So we're going to be there from 2 to 5 p.m. and we invite people to come at any point within that time frame to visit us and learn about radon. We're going to have tables set outside as long as the weather is nice, where people can rotate through those tables, learn about what radon is all about, how to test their homes for radon, and what is involved with radon mitigation. And by attending, will get a free radon test kit, popcorn and soda. So if you wanted to catch a movie later, you can get some popcorn and soda for that. We're going to have a $25 Visa gift card raffle. And we're going to have some fun kids activities. So we really want this to be a family-friendly event. So if you have kiddos, we would love for them to come out because we have fun activities for them as well. And I think something very powerful that's going to come from this event is we have 2 speakers coming in. One is a lung cancer survivor and her husband, who is her caregiver. They're going to talk about their story related to radon.
Wow.
It's extremely powerful, and it speaks directly to someone who was extremely healthy, never smoked in their life, and got lung cancer and had high levels of radon in their home.
Jeez.
And so, yeah, it's again, powerful story. And I think we'll kind of just show that it can happen to anybody, no matter the situation.
Right. That's so cool that you have them speaking. Now, how can people RSVP for this?
Yeah, so on our website, fcgov.com/radon, you can RSVP there. RSVPs aren't required, so you can just definitely show up. We are going to be there with, again, test kits and loads of information and those powerful stories. And again, popcorn and soda if you want to grab that movie later or just have a snack. So we're excited. And also, we're trying to play into the fact that Halloween is coming up. And so we're going to be dressing up and having loads of Halloween candy too. Fun. So we want this to be fun and inviting and also educational. And we should provide that free test kit, that resource that makes it easy to test for radon. Because as the weather is starting to cool down a little bit, it's the perfect time to test for radon.
Really?
So,
okay. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Another reason to go out there, you guys. Now, you touched on this a little bit, but exactly why do you think it's important to spread radon awareness?
Yeah, I think just the fact that our homes in Colorado, we see those higher levels. Not every home has radon mitigation. If you live in Fort Collins and your home was built after 2005, it is required to have a passive system in place. I could get into the details of that a little bit, but come to the event, you'll learn all about that. But it's one step or one measure to reducing radon levels, but a lot of our older homes and even passive mitigation isn't always enough. And with that, because radon is essentially a senseless gas, we can't see it. We can't smell it. It's hard to know
right
day to day what our exposure level is. And so that's just really why it's important is we want people to understand what their risk is based off of the levels are in their home.
For sure. Now, is this a difficult thing to test for?
No, I thankfully we are a grant recipient of radon funding through the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. And due to their efforts at the state level, we're able to purchase radon test kits and give many, many kids away for free. And there's a variety of different types of tests, but the ones that we're giving away for free is kind of that first step to testing. It's called a short-term test kit. It's a 3 to 7 day test kit that you put up in your home. And the reason why fall time, even winter time, is the best time to test with a short-term test kit is you need to keep those windows and doors closed during the duration of the test. And it gives you a snapshot of what your levels are based off of the conditions that you tested. So it gives you a starting place in terms of, do I have high levels? If I have high levels, do I need to follow up with a long-term test kit, which is a year-long average, or mitigation? Sometimes levels are just high enough that mitigation is the next best step.
Right. Well, thank you for that. That's super interesting. For our listeners, head to the Lyric Cinema Cafe October 1st at 1 p.m. You'll be able to enjoy snacks, refreshments. You'll get a free radon kit from the city of Fort Collins. There will also be a raffle for a $25 Visa gift card. There's going to be speakers. There's going to be fun activities for the kids as well. So bring the whole family. For more info on how to RSVP, you can visit fcgov.com/radon. Now let's kind of pivot here for a second. How did you get involved with the Environmental Services Department?
Yeah, I've worked with the city for 10 years as of last month, which is hard to believe. Time really does fly when you're doing good work. And my background is actually in social work. And I just found a passion for really the public health side of the work that we do in terms of just empowering people and providing information that allows them to be the healthiest and safest they can be in their homes. And radon 100% falls within that category. And so that's kind of, I through connections, I kind of just landed into this space and am really grateful that day to day we get to talk about how we can work with the community to spread awareness and get people involved and make sure that they feel, again, healthy and safe in their homes and provide the resources wherever we can to support that.
We are for sure glad you're doing what you're doing. I know very little about radon, and yeah, this was very interesting. So obviously it's a scary thing because you can't smell it or use any of our human senses to identify that you got an issue in your house. So this is a really important event to attend. Selina, is there anything else that you'd like our listeners to know?
Well, I just want to say, you're not alone in not knowing anything about radon. When I first started this job, I had never heard about radon before. And so it's not uncommon. And so we really want, to introduce this information, knowing that it's not something that comes up a lot of the time. And so we want people to feel like they're not behind by any means, or they're not, out of the know, because again, that's why we're here. We're here to provide all the good information that people need to know and support kind of throughout the journey of testing and mitigation in terms of what information might be needed. And so we are excited to be out into the community and share this information in just a little bit of a different way, and hope people will join us.
Well, Selina, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate your time.